Against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
Let's go! Let's go! Hey, people, deluded. I'm back again. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Good morning to people like myself over here in the UK. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night, depending on who you are and wherever else you guys are in this world. DG Nation International. First things first, thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you've all in good spirits. You know, we're at the halfway point in the week. I hope you're all aggressively attacking your goals and aspirations and targets and all of those sort of things in the short, medium, and long term. If we're not trying to do such, then we're not making the days count. We're just simply counting days, and that's not what we're here for, people. You know, that's what my club is doing. We're not seizing our future. So I hope you're all doing your thing. You know, I hope you're all, you're doing what you need to do in that regards. Obviously, in that regards, I hope you're all, got your health and things like that, and I hope your loved ones do. So I hope everyone's blessed. I hope everyone's good. Shout out to all the 9-to-5ers and all the grinders out there. Shout out to everybody all over the world. I appreciate you guys each and every time. Like I say it all the time, I'm genuinely blessed to have the fan base, subscriber base, community that we have. There's we very rarely agree, actually, but that's not the end of the world. There's always talking points to take away. There's always some interesting things. I really appreciate it. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, you're subscribing, and all of those sort of things. Actually, as well, sorry to my Twitch gang, because obviously we're making progress with Twitch in it, and not to get into the specifics, there'll be a time to reveal everything, but I cannot stream at YouTube and Twitch at the same time for a couple of months. We'll get back to that, but I have to kind of keep them both housed on different things. So I thought, you know what, how do I adapt? We might as well just do 2 shows in it. So big up the YouTube gang. For the Twitch ones out there, you're not forgotten. 4 p.m. we'll do another live stream. If any other Arsenal content finds its way into the world in relation to the transfer market, will cover that, and obviously we'll cover a lot of neutral things. I'm going live at 4 p.m. on Twitch, so I know you lot are already subscribed. Head over there if you haven't. Deluded Gooner. It's probably even easier to find me. In fact, I can actually drop you a link. And shout out to the 839 followers that I have so far. The journey to 1K continues. Which mug is disliking the video? I don't know, man. People's baby mamas, sour guys, people that are not of a growth mindset, people that are not mature enough to deal with what we're doing, people that like to bury their heads in the sand. Either way, they're not the guys and girls that we need here. They're probably clapped as well. Like, these are the sort of people that are probably vexed with life. So I appreciate you lot. Obviously, I know you're all desperate to speak about Maddison, Lauturo, Martinez. I'm sure you're all equally as desperate to speak about GRANIT, Xhaka. There's not much to go through, but I always say that, and we go through things. So please make sure you hit the like button. I also forgot to mention, I'm live right now. Obviously, I'm gonna be live at 4 p.m. on Twitch. In the meantime, I believe 2:30, I'm on Curtis Shaw's channel. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to Curtis if you haven't already, and head over there. The content doesn't stop. And you lot have been on to me about football manager content. We're starting that tomorrow. It's not going to be perfect, same way, we're not perfect on YouTube, but we've come a long way. We're just going to have to start in it, because I found myself finding too many excuses. The only problem I'm having now, I'm trying to find the official kit patches because it looks good. We're going live in it. I don't know for the time and all of those sort of things. I'll update you, with all of that sort of stuff. But just make sure you're following on Twitch in it, because Football Manager, we're going to do our thing. We're going to start a little Arsenal save, and then go, on a little mess around thing. And then when the transfer window's done, we'll pick a team, whether that's Arsenal or elsewhere. I actually think it'll be good, man, because you lot, I'm sure you lot will have a hand in the transfers. You lot will see me really get rattled. You lot will see me in a different light, man. So before we carry on, I wonder what you lot are doing, man. Listen, hit the like button and make sure you get your merch. Big up the members, them, and I appreciate Stylish you on that, in that regard. Shout out to you for getting your merch as well. Obviously, the link has been dropped. Hoodies, tees, the rest of it. Some of you have been on to me about hats, and I'm looking to get that one there done. So something for everyone. You know me, you can't be a people's pleaser, but I try to please people. A man said, bruv, Twitch doesn't like any of the passwords I tried to sign up with. Have you tried turning it off and doing it again? You know, I don't know for that. Find the easier one, Chase Gold, man. Call it Chase Gold 123 or something, man. Capital C, capital G or something. I don't know, my guy. Big up the Hackney ones, Eddie, all the way from sunny Dalston. You know, I'm a North Londoner, but I used to spend a lot of time in Dalston growing up as well, to be fair with you. A man said, DG, do a short to send the YouTube viewers over. I did that today, bro. Doesn't it show you does it show you the stories? Because you told me to do that and I've started running with it. Doesn't it? Is it not bringing up the stories in the same way? I don't think the community tab shows you everything that needs to be said and things like that. But I did it. I'll do it again. You know, like I said, the Lily Gooner on Twitch. Make sure you're over there, man. We're gonna get into everything. But what are you lot saying? Run up the like buttons if you haven't. Esther said, shout the members. Why can't we wrap our transfers before this preseason starts? Always dragging it out till it's too late. Yes, I hear you. You know, I would have loved for the bulk of the business in an ideal world, you know, number 8 in terms of incoming, specifically. I would have loved a number 8. You know, Ben White was at the Euros, fair enough. But for argument's sake, I would have loved a centre half, a centre mid, a 10, a right back, all of them done early. So Arteta has, you know, more time to just work with them and there's more clarity and they can gel and all of those sort of things. But I think most fans could concede, you know, if we are to get Maddison, it was going to drag on. If we are to get Lauturo, Martinez, it's going to drag on. If we are to get our Odegaard, all of these guys that will probably eventually not get, it will probably drag on. I hear you because I would have loved the bulk of the business to be done. Then, you know, I think what I mean by that is if you grab the number 8, like we did with Lokonga, you grab the right back and you did the bulk of the business, then you're more sort of mavericky players, the Maddisons. We could understand it, but you know, it was never going to be there. There's sheerly too much work to be done, and it was never going to be done in all of a window. For me, what concerns me, to your question, is actually the outgoings, because I'm looking at it. Joe Willock, if you really want to play World Cup, if you really want to get going, you know, you need to be at Newcastle early, doing their preseason early, showing that, you know, to do what you need to do to show for a full season you can do that. And like he said, he wants to get into the England call up. Now, clearly, Joe is kind of being messed around. We're not saying, you know, I believe all options are on the table with Joe Willock to leave, to be used in swap deals, to go out on loan again, to go permanently. But we're messing him around. Outgoings, it scares me to know that it's unclear what's happening with Torreira. It's unclear what's happening with Joe. You know, Kolasinac is still on the books. He's been linked with Fenerbahce. There's all of these sort of things. And, you know, context is key. You got to be fair to someone, to Edu. But I saw a stat floating that Edu hasn't actually sold a legit player. I don't know if that's true, and I somewhat don't think it is. But if he actually hasn't sold a player, then the technical director needs to do a bit more. Granted, it's easier said than done with the certain players we have. But at the same time, you know, excluding the Williams and Kolasinac, who I would have liked to seen all our time go towards because they're average players on big wages, I do think you should be able to find a home for Torreira. You should be able to find a home for Joe if he's leaving. Same way, you know, you found one for Saliba and Guendouzi on a permanent and temporary basis early. Hopefully that. And it just scares me. Like, we're going to get into Xhaka. Xhaka is staying now, but we actually haven't, we've been told that, but there's still an air of doubt. You know, more clouds remain over Bellerin and Leno's future. You know, Bellerin shouldn't be in the starting lineup, or, you know, probably in our first team. He should probably play for our 23s, much less still be at this club. And again, as I said, it's difficult to move people on, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. The outgoings concerns me, because for me, what are these players doing? You know, if it's for me, obviously there's a lot of variables. Moves are probably happening in the pipeline and all of these things, but if I'm Eddie, if I'm Joe, if I'm Nelson, if I'm Kolasinac, if I'm whoever's been linked with a move away or been told that they're not levels, I want to leave early because I want to show the next manager that actually wants me I'm levels. I just want to get on with my career, especially for the younger players. I'm not going to lie. I think Eddie and Balogun and Nelson, they're being messed about by the club personally. I don't think there's as of a case of moving them out as we're led to believe. I think they're potentially being used as mate weights in swap deals, potentially open to leaving on loan, and of course permanently. Or maybe there's actually been no offers. But that's where I'm looking at it. Who's getting on the phone to their agents? You know, I believe Joe Willock must be telling his agent, I want to do something, you know, based on how Maitland-Niles has been talking in the press in the last 6 to 12 months or whatever. and how he hasn't had any clarity from Arsenal. I'd imagine he's getting his agent to do something, you know. And I do think, I'm not saying Kalaj, no one wants to play or doesn't want to play, but I do think some people are dragging their heels, because for me, if the club is moving iffy with me, that's one thing. But my agent, this is my agent's job, innit? I don't have to look after my future per se. My agent needs to be banging on the door of Arteta and Edu. What are you doing with my client? You know, if you want him, let us know. If you want to sell him, let us know. I'm trying to get him a move. And to be fair, you are hearing that sort of stuff with Bellerin's agent. So for me, it's more so the outgoings per se, man. We need to get a move on. We need to start selling players, man. You know, because we're in that dangerous territory in that we obviously there's exceptions to the rule and we can, but we can't really bring players in without getting players off. For me, I genuinely believe the club is not selling certain players because there's concerns about bringing certain man in, rightly or wrongly. But I hear you. You know, it is quite of a scary one, man. That it's just for me, it's just there's too much storylines with Arsenal. Like I long for a day when Arsenal get back of just not having dramas about the manager, his relationships with certain players, how he utilizes certain players. You know, drama. 1 minute several players are staying, then they're going, and they're staying, and they're going, and you don't know the many other storylines that come with Arsenal way before we talk about the football, what we see from minute 1 to minute 0 to 90 across the football game, and we all know how eventful that is. My word, this Amazon documentary is going to be lit now that I deep it, because the season hasn't even started and it's looking lit. But yeah, man, please make sure you're hitting the like button, you're subscribing on Twitch and all of those sort of things. As I said, 4 p.m. live stream exclusive to Twitch. I actually don't know. Oh, okay, we're actually there now. I don't know why it's not showing. It's not. Why is it not allowing me to pin or something? All right, here we go. So it did let me pin. We're here. We're here. Sorry, people. For those that don't know what I'm on about, I'm actually, I have to look at the stream manager via YouTube, and it wasn't showing me that I'm actually live. So I was thinking, what's going on there? But we keep moving. Big up AM. I appreciate you always locked in. Yeah, man. What else are you lot saying in the comments before we crack on? You know me, I'm never one to let you lot down. Toilet settings again, DG. Nah, I'm all good still today. I'm all good, man. I'm all good. I'm all good. No more oversharing from me in that regards, man. I'm good today still. I handle my business. I appreciate all the South African ones locked in. In fact, pick up the whole continent of Africa first and foremost, man. I seen Namibia the other day. I say other day, it must have been yesterday. So I appreciate it, man. Come on, show some love to the Twitch, like my guy T is saying, man. I appreciate you lot that have done that. If you haven't, you're a bad guy. DG moving up the grind. Yeah, big up the grind. We're getting this bag this season. Hopefully, man, that the quicker we get to the bag, the quicker we can expand things, the quicker we can, I should really save a lot of that for DG thoughts. The quicker the anxiety calms down, you get it. But we keep going, man. We keep going, man. Big up Deluded. Hope you're meeting your goals this week as well. Realist guy on YouTube. Paul, I appreciate that. In relation to my goals, it's a bit 70, 30. And I think I am, but there's a couple of things. If I don't get them done by Friday, I'm going to be quite annoyed. And for me, this week has been about, I'm not someone who puts things off, but you see me, if this grows the way I want it to, I'm going to do everything in my power so that I can just focus on content. Not that I don't have time. I don't really like the admin stuff that comes into it and a lot of other stuff. And I've kind of been putting certain things off, and it's just like, it needs to get done in the bare things. And I done a bit of them yesterday. We'll get it done, but it is what it is, and it's down to me. And if I mess about and piss about, it's not going to get done. So yeah, man, appreciate you guys. Always love the comment section, man. Always got time for the comment section. Would you take Danny Ings? Yeah, because I think Danny Ings could do a job still. But for me, it's like with Tammy Abraham. I would take Tammy Abraham, but the thing with taking Tammy, that's actually who I think. Well, I'll get onto. I don't want to spoil it, but the thing with Tammy, it's nothing to do with Tammy. I look at Tammy, I think he just needs a bit of confidence. He just needs a bit of work to use his physical stature and be good in the air and be good in hold-up play. For me, be less reactive. Start expecting to get onto the end of things, because that's the only problems. The problem with me getting Tammy is I believe he can be a long-term guy. I believe he can be part of the squad. He's English. I think he could be someone that can get 20 league goals. I'm not the biggest fan, but I'm not anti-Tammy. I don't think he's bad. The problem is for me, You know, we've got too many different ages, but we've got too many of these players that need, you know, as much as we need to win games, they need to be worked with. You know, Smith Rowe's not the finished article. Saka is not the finished article. Balogun is not the finished article. You've brought in Gabriel and Ben White, significantly more experienced than the names I've just said, but they're not household names in football. They're not, you get it, like they've got a lot of development. And when you go along the squad, there's a lot of people like that. So then, and for me, it's not that these certain players are not doing well. It's just, it's a bit inconsistent with seeing evident improvements or how we're improving them. So if I can't really see it, what's the point of bringing in a next man? And I'm not saying Tammy is worse or whatever, but, and I don't know for how much money we have, but for me, it don't really make sense signing. And like I said, longevity is the factor with Tammy, but for me, it's a bit of a sideways step getting rid of Lacazette allegedly and bringing in Tammy allegedly, because, you know, he's not right now, he's not significantly better. Would, you know, if they really want 30 million quid for him, you know, he's 23, you will get that 30 quid back. You know, it would be a good investment, but I'm of the belief in certain areas, if we're not bringing in better than what we have, what's the point? That's why I don't mind Lauturo Martinez. I know the statistics might not say the same. We're not getting Lauturo for what it's worth, in my opinion, but it is what it is. Let me make a timestamp with that. I think Arsenal will get Tammy. And that sets me up for that actually sets me up for the next part. And let's just offer this thing about Lautaro Martinez. There's actually nothing specific about Lautaro Martinez in a sense that we've heard he's open to the Premier League, he's open to joining Arsenal and things like that. And we have a free run at him and they want 60 odd million, and Inter Milan is broken things. They've sold Hakimi, you know. They look like to be selling Lukaku. Obviously, it's a knock-on effect. Chelsea tried the Haaland thing. It didn't bang. Now they're going elsewhere. That's why I think we're getting Tammy Abraham. I don't think we're getting Lautaro Martinez, purely because anything can happen in football. But surely if you've just won a league title like Inter Milan, surely it doesn't make sense to lose Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez to go with Hakimi or significantly weakening your side, especially being in Italy where Juventus are the bullies typically. You've got Champions League and you want to try and retain it and stuff like that. So I don't think they're going to let people go. It's who can get there first. You know, if Chelsea turn their attentions away from Lukaku and go for someone else, then we might be able to to pinch Martinez. But I think it's a now or never thing. You've got to get this one done, because I don't see them letting both go. Obviously, if they have to clear their debts, they're getting what, let's say over 80 million for Lukaku because they have the fees, and around 60 odd for Lautaro Martinez, maybe up to 70. That's over 100 million quid. But then what are they going to do for strikers? If they've got a next madman that can come up front, fair play. They've been linked with Atalanta Zapata, who could be a good Lukaku replacement. And obviously, Martinez and Lukaku was central to Inter doing things. They had a very good partnership up front together and all those sort of things. So it'd be suicidal from them to sell both of those players. So someone's got to miss out. And I think we're going to miss out because Chelsea have more money than us. They're in a healthier state. They're more aggressive with what they're trying to do. They need to move on players and stuff. But it seems like they're very aggressive with getting this Lukaku thing. We just hear we'd like Martinez. We hear we're talking, but in relation to bids placed and things, you actually haven't heard anything confirmed. And with us, at least with Chelsea, you can see stability in defence. They will get Conde, but there's a bit of stability. There's defo stability and a plan in midfield. Striker, Werner does everything well apart from score. It's comedic what we saw at the Emirates on Sunday. But you look at us, we ain't patterned the midfield. Defense isn't patterned in the sense of, I still don't know who is going to be Ben White's partner long term. Right back, I have my concerns about everybody that's contracted at this club currently at right back. I don't really believe in any of them for a 38 game calendar. I like Chambers and Maitland. I'll give Cedric a chance. I'm done with Bellerin. But if Bellerin plays, I'll support him. But we've gone too far, So for me, you need to bring in a midfielder, an 8 for me to play next to Partey, regardless of this Xhaka thing. We all know it seems like we're moving towards the number 10. So, if you ain't confirmed them, are you going to get peas for Martinez, really? And there's important because Martinez will suffer the same fate. Aubameyang, all of them doing that. There's no real service. We're working with scraps sort of thing. So it's a bit mad. So I don't think, for what it's worth, I don't think we're getting Lautaro Martinez, but we can hope. As I said, anything can happen, people, because surely, our inability to shift players means the progress in relation to bringing in people like Martinez is slower. In my opinion, as I said, I think we go for Tammy Abraham. Once Lukaku goes to Chelsea, allegedly, I think this club will go for Tammy because you know what? You know, Lukaku's being bought for 80 something odd. Chelsea have raised a lot of money through sales, and in my opinion, and they're going to raise a decent bob selling Tammy. You know, if they really want 30 million euros for him, Arsenal won't act over his personal terms and things. You know, must have been some indirect talks when both of these teams played each other. So we'll have to see. But you know, somebody's got to miss out, and it will probably be us because, you know, you'd say Chelsea need a striker more than us in the basis of their squad is complete, more or less. They just need a striker. We need a striker because people aren't doing their jobs. But more so than we need a striker, in my opinion, we need to address what's going on in the middle of the park. You know, it's building a house. You build a house from the foundations up. We're having a nice solar paneled roof and that, but then you're looking at it in the engine room, our boiler's not working. You know, hot water's cutting out. There's mold and asbestos and that. The fridge is dirty. There's mice up in this place. It's worse than a bando. Like it's actually mad. It might look nice from the outside. It's dead inside. So look after the foundations. Then you can start getting the accessories and the aesthetically pleasing. I think the word is all of that sort of stuff. So I think our loss will be Chelsea's gain in that regards, and I think we'll probably go for Tammy. I'm starting to believe it's going to be Tammy and Odegaard coming in. Personally, I don't know. I'm braced for heartache with this Maddison thing. I can't lie to you lot, people. I just think we're gonna just go for Odegaard in the same way. You know, last season was just all partey. We tried to play a game of chicken. Atletico weren't on it, and to save face on the last day, we paid his release clause. Fans got twanged because it was the euphoria of just signing a player and forgetting that, you know, we needed the guy that could do the Partey thing, but you needed a partner to do what Partey couldn't do, and, you know, yin and yang sort of stuff. And I think the club did a good job of twanging fans in making them think at the time our or Partey. Where if we look at the names, away from the names, an 8 or a 6, the modern game, you need an 8. You know, because for me, you need an 8 because our midfield doesn't say anything. We're not spot on defensively. We don't control the tempo of the game like them Chelsea guys. You know, we're not mad pressing. You look at our midfield, what is it about? And our midfield is our ability to improve that midfield is going to have a knock-on effect on how good we are defensively or attackingly, and just an overall system. And I have a tough time accepting what's going on in midfield because everyone can see it's not good enough with what we're doing tactically, personnel, etc., etc. Shout out to Lokonga signing, but also our technical director and the manager were both midfielders. So it either means you're condoning it, you're happy with it, and I'm looking at it a bit sideways, people. You know, and there's two things. You know, you can bring in an 8. If you don't want to bring in an 8, cool. You want to do the Xhaka and Partey thing, give Lokonga scope to grow. El Nene stays for 1 year, cool. I don't agree with a lot of that, but cool. But I know if you bring in a 10, 10s are dying in this day and age, people. You lot have seen it already. 10s are a dying art. 10s are dying. You know, like I said, 10s are a dying art. They're dying in today's day and age. So when you get them, you have to back them fully. And we already seen with Ozil, there's times Ozil can be blamed for a lot, but there's times we're signing, you know, we've got Ozil, we haven't got the strikers, or we need to sign a DM, we're not getting that. You need to have the whole team patterned to allow them to do their thing. If you're not going to do that, then there's no point investing in a 10 because you're already going against it in the modern day. There aren't too many 10s about, you know, you'd probably struggle to list 10 organic, real number 10s, not Kevin De Bruyne. I'm not saying he's a bad player or anything like that, but he's not the poetry in motion 10. If you're going to grab that, you need to double down on them. You can't, you know, you need to kind of build it around them and not always making sure they're dropping and receiving it off centre half. You need movement, you need everything. And it's probably too late in pre-season initially to do all of that sort of stuff. So I don't know. Personally, I would like a partner next to Partey. I think we'd do a lot better in that regards because people fail to understand just because they're not a 10 doesn't mean a man can't create. You know, we need guys that can dribble through midfield, guys that obviously could score goals and the rest of it. But for me, minimally, I just want someone that wants the ball all the time. You know, it's all fun and games to want it when you're 2-0 up. But when someone's made a mistake, I need to see it. Like, I don't think we've got that. That's why, you know, like with Ozil, Smith Rowe, he loves to get into little pockets, but he's not really getting onto the ball like you saw against Chelsea. He's there in little flashes, but he's not staying in areas he can hurt the team. He's not the strongest with respect to him. He's going against a back three. The midfielders are having inability. Partey was doing his thing, but El Nene was dead. Has an inability to pass the ball forward. So what are you going to do? You're going to drop. If the 10 is not there as a striker, and a service-reliant striker at that, you're going to drop or work on the last shoulders. Then there might not be a physical presence. And a team like Chelsea, they're just going to get further and further up the field. You know, if it's not Chelsea, you can go and look back at many games last season. You know, tactically, we actually defeat ourselves way more before teams defeat us. We are our own worst enemies. You know, way before other teams beat us up and show us the quality of their teams, we have tactically outdone ourselves. And then on top of that, you've got the cocktail of just simply naive footballers, individuals all over the field. So, boy, like we'll have to see. But it's now or never for these tens and things like that. You know, it's simply now or never. You just need goal scorers, man. Like, need a lot. But I know it takes time to find all of that. I just want someone that wants to receive it and dictate the tempo again and again and again and again, not in little patches of play. We need that. Our midfield is not going to get better until we source that. And like I said, I have a hard time accepting it because Arteta was a midfielder. It's either two options. It's either, you know, the market you can't do something in the market, you know. You want to try things a different way, or you're happy with what you're seeing. You know, you're happy with Xhaka dictating. You're happy with not having a certified partner for Partey. You're happy with really just throwing Smith Rowe to the wolves. You know, you know fans love him now. Suddenly, you know, when he goes through a rough patch, you know what's being said, and it's not fair on the young man to think he can carry this team. You know, it's his first proper full season this year as a certified first teamer, not the whole little Nelson and Joe Willett thing he was part of before he got his chance, where you're in the team but you're not. You're playing up Europa League. He can't listen. Even City have some top class, world class players. They don't just rely on one man. Suddenly, it would look different if Kevin was the singular man to have to create, or Bernardo, or even Grealish, you signing for them allegedly, who we're going to be talking about on Twitch at 4 p.m. as well. Make sure you've set your reminders and you're following on Twitch to Ludiguna. Let's get to 1K, because obviously YouTube, you know, as much as I love YouTube, we've got to diversify. They keep moving the goalposts and things. So please make sure you're supporting the thing. It doesn't cost a thing. Subscribe via Amazon Prime if you have got that. But yeah, that's what I think in relation to that. On the topic of midfielders, we'll get into Granit Xhaka in just a sec. But what are you lot saying, people? I'm very appreciative. We've got 445 people locked in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, and that's correlating because we're only at 141. Can we at least get to 300? You lot are doing the guy dirty, man. There's better options than Cantwell. Who's talking about Cantwell? Ah, good player. I want to see a bit more of a breakout from him. Breakout sort of season. I like him. He will cut the mustard. But one more of a breakout season, and then we can have that debate. Maybe it'll be too late by then. Morning, Yinka. Hope you're doing well and safe, man. I'll see you on Twitch later as well. I'll see you on Twitch later as well. Appreciate that. I think I scrolled up way too much, man. And I just answered that. I don't think we're getting Martinez, but I didn't think we're signing Aubameyang, so you never know, man. Carl, I appreciate that you're looking forward to it. Those FM streams are going to be elite, bro. My biggest fear is losing a final in front of you lot, because I'm going to lose my head, man. Hey, come on. Big up, DG. Listen to your latest podcast on Spotify. Great content. Appreciate you, Daniel. I mean, I love that, because yesterday someone said it's boring, so I don't know, man. FM is where guys get exposed. A lot of guys think they can manage till FM has them on the ropes. Boy, it's going to be a tough one with Arsenal, with it. Why Aston Villa fans think Aston Villa is at the same level as Arsenal? They're a better run club right now, but how could they imagine we're at the same level? Even Chelsea got more fans than them. I don't think it's always correlated to fans. We are a bigger club than Villa, but this whole bigger club thing is dead, man. Like, I've never been one of these fans. Everyone wants to, like, my club is bigger than yours and things. As long as it's the biggest club to you as a fan, who cares really? Because we all support for different reasons and stuff, and it's just mundane, really, man. I hate how we've had so many main targets this summer. It's only prolonged our lack of activity in the window to fix up key spots, bro. Odegaard, key target. Maddison, key target. This guy, key target. That guy, key target. I hear you, but we're always missing the target. Some shit gunmen, man. It's crazy, but we'll have to see, man. Big up yourself, Daniel. I appreciate you for locking in. You're always here as well. Pardon me. Bro, this is the thing. This is the thing. Smith Rowe can't carry the team alone the whole season. We need one more creative mid. Odegaard would be a safe option, but safe don't mean better. I prefer Maddison just because he has more Prem experience. I hear you. You know, I want any of them because there's times both have played. Odegaard last season and Smith Rowe, we struggled. Not one single. It's the same way. And I blame the club because fans Because fans are just so hopeless. We pin all our hopes. It's the same way Gabriel ain't going to fix everything in defense. Ben White's not going to fix everything in defense. Partey was not going to take this midfield alone to a next level. You know, you're only as good as your teammates. We're only as good as the weakest member in our squad, in which for me, it's Bellerin, not to scapegoat. So you know where we're at, really. You know, but you're right. In the same way, Aubameyang can't be the only one that's scoring, not which he's not doing. You need everyone to pull their weight, really and truly. And it's like, don't know, man. The club don't understand this thing, man. Absolute madness. Of course, it's unrealistic to get all the business done. In the ideal world, Mr. Adler 2 for it'd be great. I do think we could have at least got a couple of guys in, though. But like you said, it's a difficult time. You know, there's been Euros that's obviously affected what we've tried to do with Ben White. Obviously, Jadon Sancho it was happening, but again, for you know, Jadon, Ben White, Kane and Grealish are gonna follow. It took a while to do these things. Saying that, you know, Lokonga, to be fair, we was trying to do it early. I'll be live on Twitch later, as I explained, you know, for the next couple of months. Literally, we'll get back to dual streaming, but you know, I can only stream on, well, if I'm streaming on Twitch, it can go on YouTube 24 hours later, or you know, I can stream on Twitch now or YouTube right now. You know, YouTube I can do my thing, but it's more so with Twitch. So make sure you're subscribed on Twitch. Like I said, watch party content, FM streams, you know, transfer business. We're making our way over to Twitch. We're still doing up YouTube, but YouTube's got a bit complacent, man. Appreciate everyone in there. I think I just saw see a legend in here. And I almost forgot, people. Obviously, a couple days ago, it was my mom's birthday, and you lot said thank you. She told me to say thank you, and I know she's listed. So, on behalf of my mother, thank you for saying happy birthday. You lot almost made her into tears, man. She was so happy, couldn't believe it. So, I appreciate you guys for that, man. Very heartwarming moments, man. A man said you rap good, bro. Excellent lyrics with a lot of pain. I wish, man. You know, I wish, man. I might have to try this rap thing. Stormzy, shout me. Try to get the bag, man. I got faith in Gabriel, but I don't have faith in Gabriel to do it alone, because this is the problem. Where does the scope for having bad games and things like that happen? Man, are human, you know. I just think it leaves me very uncomfortable to pin all my hopes on a singular player, because that's what we've been doing, you know. At a time, it was Santi in the middle, Koscielny just battling, even though we're losing 10 or so nil, just battling, Alexis doing his thing, you know. Then he had a little Aubameyang. I remember there was one season, it was just Aubameyang up front, and I know Leno's not flavour of the month right now, but it was just Leno in goal, and a couple other men stood up to be counted here and there. But it was, you know, it was just genuinely it felt like just them two doing the business. I really feel it. I find it very uncomfortable relying on one singular player, because you look at the teams that finished above us, they didn't rely on one singular player. There might be times one guy made the difference, but he couldn't have made the difference if every one of his teammates or the ones that played at the time didn't pull their weight. So it's one of them ones, really. Sorry, fuck Siri, man. You're not involved. I'm talking to my. Why you here with my friends? Don't you have manners? Appreciate that, Omar. That's massive praise, man. Massive praise. What do you think? Well, Aziz is just timing, man. For Aziz, keep doing what you're doing, keep improving physically, and your chance will come. You know, we'll have to review his situation around January. Maybe it might be an option to look at going on loan. Maybe he can get in and around the first team. And then they will probably be allowed to run down his deal, my guy. But, you know, he should be looking to move certain man on, really. Bit harsh. I do have problems with Arteta improving players, but I can't sit here and say I don't think he's improved Pepe in terms of all aspects of his game. I can't sit here and say, while you can't really, you know, he didn't blood Saka and Smith Rowe. I can't sit here and say they're potentially not going from strength to strength. I don't think the world of Holding, but I do think there's been an improvement in Holding. Chambers, there's been a bit more confidence installed in him, even though when he got injured, he was looking all right. I agree with you though, Lincoln. You know, as much as I say that, I think what you're looking for is evidently like players for the propaganda that we was told. We're not really seeing much. Like we thought we might see a little tune out of Nelson. Ain't really seen that. You know, he brought in William. William regressed. You know, certain things. I'd say evident improvement. Gabriel seems like when the time got tough, he dropped him out. You know, evident improvement of players. I don't see. So yeah, man. Interesting comments nonetheless, man. Let's get to 200, guys, if we're not there already. Oh, apologies, S, man. EG, have you discussed Sarmento to Southampton since that happened? I know you had your eyes on him. Are you talking about Livramento, Tino? One of them, if you're talking about him, because that's who I spoke about recently. You know, good signing for Southampton, and I think Chelsea might look back that they got zanged, but you know, I look at it, you know, 5 million for a player that's never played for your first team, probably a healthy sell-on clause and a buyback clause. Is what is. Not everyone can make it at the clubs, man. Jose will speak about the new VAR rules on if you lot remind me on Twitch at 4 p.m. So make sure you're subscribed in them things. Pereira does want to move away from West Brom, but you know, you can't force a move per se. And I think they're being quite harsh. And I would like him at Arsenal, but it seems like he's got his heart set on a move to the Middle East. Man said DG out. Oh man. Can't even be on for DG's live streams. YouTube be hating on me. Marshall, that's a shame, man. That's a shame. That's it, man. DG, I am playing FM while watching you and just lost the FA Cup final to Liverpool. Go again, man. You know, use that to drive you for next season, man. Villa are heading in a fantastic direction. There's many clubs that are better ran than us. What made you become an Arsenal fan? Boy, family, friends, Thierry Henry. Simple. You know, the good old days, you was called a glory hunter for being an Arsenal fan. Bloody hell, bro. Hey, my club, man. You lot are gonna kill me, man. Is it fair to say we need more creativity from the number 8 and from the central midfield, like a more creative number 8 from the number 10? Well, yeah. But you know, you until the whole team and you see proper movement and see confident playing out from the back. Because let's be real, it don't look like every Arsenal player trusts each other in that team. It's only gonna happen so much. I would rather sign at 8 than a 10 because I feel the modern game is going past the 10s. As I've said, the 10 needs to be very amazing in terms of creating chances, and the team need to make everything run through them, and you really need to double down on them, stuff that I don't think this club is going to have. And then obviously if that 10 is not there, what happens? So I don't know, man. Grealish is inbound. We'll cover that later. Big up AM for reminding people. He's on Twitch later at 4 p.m. So make sure you're there, people. Arteta spoke about a massive clear out this summer and no one has left. To be fair, it looks like Guendouzi's gone, but I hear you, though. It's easier said than done. But to be fair to you, Arteta's not in charge of selling players. It's Edu. So what's he doing? Like, what's he doing in that regards? Do you think the team will have fighting spirit this season after finishing 8th? I don't know. I need to see it in tough times. Simple as that. I need to see it in tough times. If you show me you can get out the December period in and amongst the top 4 pack or the European pack, then I might have some sort of confidence. But I can only go off what I've seen. I can be blindly optimistic. But yeah, man, I don't think so. Yo, big up Bailey, man. Big up Bailey. Best winger in the Prem by default now, boy. My Jamaican tug, we're arriving. Someone needs to buy Bobby Reed. Someone needs to give Wes Morgan a new deal. You know, Ravel Morrison needs a club. You know, I know who's been Brentford. I know you can hook something up for Ravel Morrison, and then we're gone, man. Next question: what do you think about Granit Xhaka's contracts? I don't understand protecting his value, you know, because he's contracted until 2023. Allegedly, the contract's going to be at least until 2024. You've heard 25 and 24, so we're giving him an extra deal. Surely, you know, it would have been more attractive to keep him on this year deal. I mean, what he's on already, because if he starts floating away after a decent season by his own standards and Arsenal's poor standards last year and the good Euros, people might have concerns. Suddenly, you're making it harder to move people on. Just like when we gave El Nene a new deal, and now we've struggled to move him on. What the hell is going on in that regards? For me, it tells me that you're going to double down on Xhaka, because Xhaka is not El Nene. He's not going to be happy to sit on the bench, especially especially in a World Cup year. And you're hearing this Arteta that wants to keep him. So if you're keeping him, then that tells me he's central to your midfield plans, and you're telling you we're going to see more of the same. So all I'd say to Arteta is make sure that you prove us wrong, because I think we need a midfielder. Make sure that I can sit here with the season's going and say, boy, that's why Arteta is the manager. Xhaka's doing his thing. I quite think, pardon my language, we're being pussies. Like we have an opportunity to revamp our midfield, and it's nothing to do with Xhaka. I just think we're picking the safe option, saying that Arteta was a safe midfielder, as was Edu. So safe dons are gonna do safe things. I think it's a bit of a joke. Nothing to do with Xhaka, you know. If I was Xhaka, and I've got 2 years left on my deal, and whatever you lot think about me, in Arteta or the club's mind, you say I'm a big character off the field and on it, and how vital I am, and the manager just seemed, when the world wanted me to leave, the manager wanted me. I'm one of the first name on the team sheet, Sakatini, and it's probably him. The midfield kind of runs through me. I'm at the age where money's a thing as well. And I've also got to think about, you know, the significant playing part of my career now. Do I need one more adventure? I would want a new deal if I'm him. I have nothing to do. I have no problem with Xhaka wanting a new deal, because this is the dynamics when you move your emotion. For me, I just think with Xhaka, he's elevated to a status in the team that he shouldn't be, like a lot of them. And I just think it's going to be same old, same old. The most you'll see, like you see with Xhaka and Bellerin and these guys, they'll play abnormal for 5 to 10 games. You'll think, boy, something's happened here. And then certain men are going to revert to type. So I think it was a real chance to revamp our midfield. So I hope that maybe, you know, Partey and Xhaka, maybe we've learned something a year from now. Maybe there's a next way to go about things, but it's going to be more of the same, isn't it, really and truly? So I don't condone it. I don't agree with it, but you know, it was always probably going to happen. It was a mandate from the club. You look at it, you know, we've tied down a couple young players. Tierney signed a new deal. Xhaka is important to these guys, so he's signing a new deal. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is, people. It really is what it is. All I'd say is just make sure it works. And for me, I think it shifts our transfer stuff towards more of a 10, where we're playing a dangerous game. Same way, if something, now that we've got Lokonga and Tenerife technically on the book, it's not the truth. But if something happens to Partey, which has happened with the injury, there's no certified number 6. We are back to square one. Shout out to Lokonga. Hopefully he gets his chance. With Granit Xhaka, and whether you agree with him or not, you know, the game, Arsenal's game kind of runs through him. He's kind of the conductor. If something happens to Granit Xhaka, which we shouldn't be in this situation anyways, what happens to our midfield then? I'm not really, you know me, I'm not happy with our midfield anyways, as much of everything, but boy, it is what it is. On the topic of that as well, I copied and pasted the article out of The Athletic. Apparently, Granit Xhaka's contract extension with Arsenal is imminent. The 28-year-old's current deal expires in 2023, and his new one will run until at least 2024. So again, this tells me that Xhaka is important. Arteta's forced the boat, because any other player, there's hella man contracted until 2022 here. None of them have been featured. You know, there's a reason Lacazette, no new deal. El Nene at this moment in time don't look like a new deal. Nelson and Eddie didn't look like, it looked like it was quite slow in that process, but they were given deals and rejected them respectively, allegedly. So it tells you everything. You know, you can't go from leaving to Roma to now wanting to stay. You know, Arteta's clearly begged him to stay a year ago when he was meant to leave, and begged him again, and he sees him as vital. So like I said, safe individuals are going to do safe things. And again, you know, credit to Xhaka, whatever you say about him, every manager that's, whether it's worked for them or not, they've played the man. So there has to be something. He's played 161 league times for him. I can't lie, man. You know, he's the best of a bad bunch in that Xhaka wants the ball and has a bag of mistakes. Certain men are safe people. It has been no secret that Arteta is a big fan of Xhaka, and this is a view held across the club, both by playing and non-playing staff. On the pitch, he has been key to Arteta's plans. He was the most used outfield player in all comps. So again, we're not going to change things. You know, the foundations are not strong enough. I'm not going to read all of that, people. We know he's highly rated and all these things by Arteta. Although there was a possibility Xhaka could leave this summer for Roma, the Italian club failed to meet his market value. As a result, Arsenal are looking to protect his value by extending his current deal rather than settling for a lower fee than they would. You know, I can't lie. All the Xhaka sexuals swore F and blind that, you know, he's underrated. There's other qualities. You know, there'll be a bunch of teams lining up for him. It's Roma. And Roma, for a 28-year-old, for someone that's meant to be in their prime, be a leader, they're not concerned to be spending 20 million euros, which shouldn't be the biggest of fees. So it is what it is. We'll have to see. I don't know what value we're protecting, but fair play, you know, unless he has an amazing season. I don't know what value we're protecting. It just seems like media individuals supporting media individuals, but it is what it is. Like I said, you bring me a midfielder and you decrease Xhaka's importance. I can't say much, but again, you're building you're not, the foundations aren't strong, and certain guys are going to do the false image thing. They're going to have good games. They're going to shell it up from here on occasion, but when the time's needed, there's issues. I don't mind Xhaka because he has character. I actually think we needed him and Luiz against Villarreal, but again, Arsenal Football Club is saying they need David Luiz and Granit Xhaka in a semi-final of a game, and they're the ones that we're looking at to stand out. If that doesn't tell you the mess we're in, nothing will, people. So I can't see nothing changing with certain individuals, and it's not an attack on Granit Xhaka. It's just we're doing the same things and expecting different results. That's insanity, literally. But it is what it is in that regards. We'll get on to Maddison in a sec, people. But what are you lot saying? That's what I think, Chad, about his new deal for what it's worth, man. It's a bit of a mad one. Up the likes, people. I bet we're not even at 200 yet. I'll shut my mouth. 220. Thank you very much to everyone who's hit it so far. Can we now progress towards 300? I mean, if you're going to use stats without the eyes, big up Pereira. But if we're going to use stats, there's probably hella stats players statistically. I'm pretty sure Xhaka's progressive passing stats are probably better than some other players. But again, it's what you're looking for with these stats. It's what sort of agenda you're trying to push. We can all manipulate stats. Sometimes we got to use the eye. Shout out to Pereira though, because he's not a bad player. What have we got? Bro, you might as well play Lokonga. It's nothing to do with Lokonga playing, bro. You might as well, because that's where fans got optimism. We don't have optimism in these other players. That's why our fans, unfortunately, pin all these hopes on these young players. You might as well play people that give you a bit of hope, because Arsenal don't give us that. So at least Lokonga gives man a bit of hope. You might as well, a bit of optimism. You might as well play him. At least he's going to learn from his mistakes. Certain man are making these mistakes year in, year out, and they're still at the club, man. We're only at 212. That's meaty. Double that, man. Come on, people. Let's hit up the likes, man. Like he said, there's 500 odd of you. Pattern up the likes, man. Would rather Burrs than Xhaka. I can't lie, I wouldn't. Good morning from Canada. Just joining the stream. What are your thoughts about Martinelli getting a chance this season? I hope he does. I need to see significant game time because he's got the mentality. We need our guys to develop. Simple as that. Like you said, I think Arteta looks for a lot of excuses surrounding Martinelli. But same way, I do think our fans overly gas a lot of it. Loving the stream, boss. In my opinion, Aubameyang has to go. He's awful. I mean, I hope Aubameyang can prove you wrong. But if he doesn't, yeah, you have it, bro. We protected Xhaka's value and apparently looking to do the same with Hector Bellerin, but we didn't for Saliba. He's defo gone, boy. If I was Saliba's advisors, I'm not signing no new deal until unless you tell me exactly what you're trying to do with me. What else are you lot saying? Some interesting comments, none along the way, man. I appreciate it. Any rumors about a new right back? Nah, man. What is your preferred 11, including rumored players? I don't know, my guy, man. I don't know. Like I can't do no rumored 11 and stuff. I can only deal with players that are actually at the football club, man. But for what it's worth, let me attempt it. I haven't seen us linked with any right back. So Ben White, Gabriel, Tierney, Leno in goal, right back grey area, Chambers if not, quickly, a quick hour Partey and Maddison. Saka, Pepe, and probably Aubameyang / Martinez. But these things are not going to happen, If one was to happen, I just want to see the midfield addressed personally, man. But I don't want to dream about fantasy signings and things. I need to see something in reality, man. He's got promise, man. You think Maddison can reach the football IQ of Ramsey? I think he's got a better IQ than Ramsey, personally. I know Ramsey's good at the late runs and stuff, but I mean, yeah, why not? No, the mentality is not good enough. Signings is only half the job, man. Let's get 300 likes now. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Appreciative of that, see? Appreciative. Bro, this is Lukonga. It won't surprise me if Lukaku. Man said Lukaku's. If Lukonga doesn't pass to him anymore, because bro, I don't think these players know their team. What I saw being live at the Emirates, people didn't trust their teammates. People also didn't know their teammates. Like I said, the players that were getting caught in a foot race, the 6s and 7s. I've got no expectations, man. So it could only be up from there, really and truly, man. The man said from North Carolina, not even 8 a.m. yet, and DJ's already put out like 4 hours worth of content. Appreciate you, man. James, if I'm not cutting up clips and I'm not live, then we're working on something, and I appreciate that, man. It means a lot. Nice to know the grind isn't in vain. Would you be happy with Maddison? Yeah, I'll be happy, bro. There'd be a bit of optimism, man. Leno makes mistakes. If you sign Onana, he's gonna make mistakes. Like Ramsdale gonna make mistakes. Like this is why I try not to. I just try to accept it, man. Like I just try to look at Arsenal like I'm some reporter or something, because I have a real tough time, especially when I can't change things and things are being run in certain sort of ways, man. It's quite jarring, really and truly. But you know, in relation to James Maddison, let me find my article, people. You did hear that there was talk of a player swap deal. Apparently, you know, probably the Maitlands and the Reece Nelsons and all those sort of things, as expected. Allegedly, it's been rejected. And we've heard another London club are involved, people, in that regards. But looking at this, hopefully Wayne isn't clickbaiting. But apparently, big update on Arsenal's bid to sign Maddison as Leicester respond to new swap deal offer. Leicester have knocked back a new Arsenal players plus cash bid for James Maddison. The Gunners have offered Reece Nelson and Ainsley Maitland-Niles as part of a new package as they try to lure the Fox playmaker this month. But a Leicester source has told Football Insider the club have no interest in players Arsenal have offered in a part exchange. Scrolling all the way down, Arsenal have upped their interest in Maddison 24 this week after making him a top target to add creativity to their team. Leicester value their star man at more than 70 million, which makes a deal difficult to agree. Arsenal have suggested a number of players in a part exchange, and latest make weights are Reece Nelson and versatile midfielder Maitland-Niles. Both players are available for transfer this summer as Mikel continues to reshape his squad. Maddison has been targeted for his proven Premier League pedigree as well as his ability to create chances from tight spaces. Scrolling all the way down, you know, he's played 118 games for Leicester, 27 goals and 20 assists. Last season, he got 10 assists and 11 goals in 42 appearances, and a season that was kind of plagued with certain injuries and all of those sort of things, people. I've seen another article. Arsenal have made James Maddison one of their top targets this summer. Leicester are said to have shown no interest in any of the players Arsenal proposed in a potential swap deal for James Maddison. As we have said, people, apparently we also remain interested in the Norwegian international Odegaard, which for me, I think we're just going to double down on Odegaard. It just seems easier to do than this, for what it's worth. And this article just reiterates what we already know, is they're not interested in no player swap deals for James Maddison. So put the money on the table or offer them players that are actually good. Things might happen, innit? You know, unless they're gonna make it hardball. So nobody wants to sell top players in it. It's as simple as that. We'll have to see, man. Apparently, James Maddison's allegedly keen. Apparently, he's seeing this as a progressive step. But let's see what happens here. Arsenal have made their opening move for Leicester City's James Maddison, with the player keen on a move to the Emirates. Scrolling down. According to The Guardian, the 24-year-old believes a move to Arsenal would raise his profile, aid his development, and enhance his chances of international recognition. There is a big club bias, yet clearly, you know, Callum Chambers got called up for England, you know, Jenkinson got called up for England. There is a big club bias. Chambers probably deserved at the time. I think he did. So I didn't mean it like that. Jenkinson defo didn't. So it would, you know, obviously there's marketability with respect to Leicester, you know, no matter how poor Arsenal have been, Arsenal and England international James Maddison probably has more of a marketable name than Leicester City and England, whatever, with respect to Leicester, because they're doing a lot better than us. So yeah, we hit, you know, We hear he wants to join the club. We hear he's open to. He's 24, so he's of an age to actually remember when Arsenal is good. The problem is when we start getting to the ages of Bukayo Saka and younger, where certain men only, with respect, I see it now. Certain people have only known Arsenal in the Emirates. You know, it's a fantasy. You know, it's a fantasy to even believe Henry played for this team. You know, you no, not on an ages thing. You can't not do nothing about that. But my point is, Arsenal still get to ride off this, you know, what Wenger did and the, you know, the French ties and all of these sort of things. But, you know, he can believe for a variety of reasons this is a good move, as well as coming to London. You know, personal terms allegedly aren't a thing, but it comes down to giving Leicester what they want. They don't want this swapsy business. You know, I used to sell Kit Kats and that in school. It used to annoy me when people used to come with, I'll swap this and give you a 20p for this. No, I want the 50p for the Kit Kats, £1 for the Lucozade. If you can't do that, we can do IOUs tomorrow. You don't pay up, it's long, you know. Pay the money. And we hear another English club, London club, better yet, is interested in Maddison. I hope it's Spurs because, you know, the juice ain't that long. If Chelsea do want him, then it's peak for us. Champions League football, all the man them are there. You know, Ben Chilwell is there. You know, all the other England guys are there. Obviously, Saka, agent Saka. I know you did your bit for Ben White. Go and do your bit for Maddison. You know, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, you're cool with Maddison or Madders. Make something happen, people. We'll have to see. So that's what he believes. That's what he believes in, people. Apparently, Arteta is desperate to add to his squad. You know, apparently, Aouar remains on our radar. We're trying to see what we can do for Maddison. There's a bit of inconsistencies because 1 minute we hear Maddison's the top target, and then it's an Odegaard thing. Then we hear Odegaard is the top target, then it's a Maddison thing. But apparently, Odegaard remains an option, and clearly this is something that is going to drag on and on and on and on and on and on and on throughout the window. But in relation to James Maddison, that's where we're at with the individual, folks. That's where we're at with him. In that, you know, it don't look like he's, you know, it don't look like we've made any progress. So as I said, you could want him as much as you want. Personal terms cannot be a problem. Put the money down that Leicester can't refuse. Same way, you know, United had to do it for Maguire. Chelsea had to do it for Kante. City had to do it for Mahrez. I'm probably missing out another one, but I know when the Chelsea with Chilwell, you know, but when the time comes for the Telemans, for the Ndidis, you know, if Kelechi keeps scoring goals, he might get a move somewhere else. You know, Seyuncu Fofana, you know, there's a bunch of guys there that you could say will probably be, you know, Leicester don't have a problem selling people, will probably be moved on at some point, but you're going to have to pay the, I don't even say top dollar, it's what these people are worth. Like with Grealish probably isn't worth 100 million to Manchester City just based off they have a lot of people that can play like him. But to Leicester, he is. Now, City see, okay, cool, he can improve us. He's 25, money on the table. Simple as that. You know, if you, what I would prefer is, yeah, be aggressive for Maddison, but can you find someone who's also 24, who also plays with Maddison, who, away from goals and assists, because I don't really know for these leagues, but might have the same sort of metrics, but he's in the second division or first division in Brazil, in Cyprus, in you know, in Ghana, in Nigeria, wherever. My point is, you know, can you look where people aren't looking? Can you find a lesser known talent that can do the job? Because, you know, if we can't go toe to toe with players, what's, you know, what are we doing? And it just feels like since we've moved on and it's become abundantly clear Arsenal are broke, we've gone a bit lazier with our signings. Like, we're willing to spunk 30 million on Ramsdale. I don't mind signing Ben White, but people might say after one season in the Premier League, 50 million could be excessive. And I have nothing wrong with Maddison, but, you know, we're punching really and truly in that regard. So we'll have to see what happens. But that's my thoughts in relation to where we're currently at with James Maddison. I spoke about Reece Nelson to Palace yesterday, so there's no point having that there. Unless there's any other new news, then I think we've got through all of that, people. It's what you lot are saying now, man. Please make sure you're hitting the like button and you're subscribed via Twitch. We're at 296. We're flirting with 300 people. Come on now. What else are you guys saying? Let me see. Well, it's looking like he's here, man. You can't defeat him. Yeah, Tavares shouldn't be playing right back at all. Bellerin should be going. You know, Maitland-Niles, in my opinion, leaves this club by the end of the window unless something dramatically happens. And I think there we have it. Bro, and the thing is, even with Mislintat, he's going to be crippled. Like you always see, we always sign a Mislintat or one of these guys and it doesn't work because he can have all the ideas, all the contacts, but if everybody's not on the same page, it's a myth. You know, it's an absolute myth. When you look at Stuttgart or Dortmund, yeah, you might not know the other individuals, but you know, they were all on the same page, all singing from the same hymn sheet, you know, and I'm sure they all had differences. Just because they're all on the same page doesn't mean, you know, if Missing Intact says, I like this player, everybody's saying, I like this player. It's coming from a certain sort of place. It just seems like freestyling. Everybody's left to their own devices at this football club. You know, everybody's governed by self-interest. People are allowed to just become complacent, really and truly, and nobody's really pushing excellence. Appreciate that. I'm not sure about Maddison's mentality, but I don't think he has a problem. At the end of the day, you move into Arsenal, you don't want to be. If it did happen, you don't want to. It's not nice to be called a flop and a failure and all of these sort of things. I think Maddison will do well. I think if you remember his post-match interview a few times, who did Leicester play? Did they play Chelsea? I don't even know, but he spoke of, I want to be the showman, I want to be the guy and stuff. So you've clearly got the mentality. Like I said, with Maddison, he's like them Essex youths and them Forest youths that we used to play in that. Them and they were ballers, but they were cocky with it. Like they had the chip on their shoulders. They knew they were ballers. And I think we need a bit of that, whether it's going to be him or somewhere else. I'm not saying you need to be in your face arrogant, even though I love it. I just need to know you've got confidence in yourself. I see Xhaka, confidence in himself, even to take a penalty, which he missed. He stepped up. Tierney, confident. Smith Rowe, confident. A couple other players, bits and pieces, but certain men are not confident at this football club when the chips are down. When it's raining, when the fans have turned on you. As I said, the fans are subjective. You play for the fans, the fans worship certain man. I don't believe in idolizing, but they love you. But your love is subjective. How many times you seen fans turn on a player, then love a player, then turn on a player? They will turn on you. It's a siege mentality. It's meant to be a 25 squad. You're meant to be the army. You're meant to be an army. You're meant to fight for each other. I don't see that enough. I think Maddison has that, but he cannot change it alone if he was to sign, which, again, I'm always pessimistic about signings, but I don't think it can happen because he ain't addressed more urgent areas. And the longer it drags on, the more Leicester are going to dig their heels in. I love Maitland-Niles, man, but it isn't going to happen. I don't think Maddison's overrated, but I do think fans do that where they start to overrate, man. Black screen, no sure what that is. A man said misplaced priorities is Arsenal's second name. The Xhaka propaganda on the Amazon documentary is gonna be strong. I can already see it, bro. You're gonna see some behind the closed doors. You're gonna see him cooking at home. You're gonna see a different light. And to be honest, if I was the club, I cannot sit here and lie. I would be using it to push propaganda pieces. So you're probably gonna see certain things. Big up from Canada. People worried about Smith Rowe and Maddison in the same spot, but from my understanding, Maddison prefers to play 8. It should work. I still prefer Odegaard, though. It's a squad game. There's 38 games. There's going to be times where, it's Maddison or Smith Rowe. You lot got to fight out in training. Whoever's the best option or whoever's holding on to the shirt in the starting lineup, don't lose it. But at the same time, one can be used out wide in Smith Rowe. One can be used in the 8. We need that luxury of different upgrades, man. Chelsea learn, United are learning, Liverpool have learned, City are fraudulent, not even including Arsenal because we are the 8th best team in the league. Boy. It depends on the amount of cash offered along with a player. Why don't they offer 40 plus Maitland-Niles? It could work, but I can't lie. If I'm Leicester, I'm not trying, unless I would hear a Joe Willock or a Maitland, but I probably just want my money. I don't want you're telling me he's worth 20 mil because I would sit there, as much as I might like Maitland-Niles, which they tried to buy him before, I would sit there and say, hang on a minute, you loaned him out to West Brom. He didn't play bad, but he didn't pull up any trees. How many offers have you got for him? And his contract's running down. He's not worth 20. He's worth 15. He's worth 12. This is what people do. They barter and things like that. And I'd be doing exactly the same if I'm Leicester, Joe Willock's the only one you could sit there and say, yo, my man is 20 million or something. All right, cool. If you try and tell me Nelson is, you can never be saying to me if I'm Leicester, Nelson's worth more than 10 million max based on what's going on. And I don't believe that. I think Nelson is, I rate Nelson. But the point is, I'm not trying to get little man in it. And Leicester will not be bullied. You put the money down, you get your man. And I hope we would have learned from our Brighton experience in that, it's not the same, but they had an asset that was highly sought after, allegedly. Someone people were looking at, another English club. So there's the payment structure, and somehow we're able to do it, man. And for me, like I said, if you're in a position where you're meant to be penny pinching and you're being lazier with your scouting, you're talking about 30 for Ramsdale, 50 for a guy who's played one season in the Prem. As much as I like Ben White, if you want Maddison, who's 24 and played for England and these things, I know you got bread. Give me the bread. If you don't want to give me the bread, then nobody's eating, in it. Like, simple as that. Maddison is the perfect signing for Arsenal. Arteta would switch on Maddison after a while. If Maddison don't listen to Rodgers, so I doubt he'll listen to Arteta. But what improves these mistakes, DG? Mentality, the manager, do you think it's the style of play? Obviously, there's a lot tactically the manager can do, but for me, it's mainly mentally. And to be fair to you, when you're young, when you got the young players, you can change up their mentality. I think too many of these players have just played at this club too much, played in the game too much to change. So I think we're going to see the same individuals. So I'd say you need different guys, man. How many times are we going to start trying to change mentality with the same old players, man? Football has gone mad with these fees. Trust. It's crazy, man. It's more confidence with Oba. I've already said I don't think Maddison is happening, bro. But I said Aubameyang weren't happening. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't work for Arsenal. I'm not a transfer man. I just think it comes down to money. It's not that Leicester are difficult to deal with. They just know what they want. So if it happens, it happens. If it don't, boy, a man just said why. No clue why you're saying why, but fair play. Big up DG. My biggest annoyance is the fact that we haven't been clear who's staying plus who's going. I wish we would have said XYZ, you're done. No first team football, but easier said than done. Indirectly, I think that's been done, but not to the level. Like the players, the significant guys that play, I think there's too much wishy-washy business. It feels more like not that they're deciding their futures, but we're reactive to what they're saying versus us. And unless you're Lionel Messi and all of these things, bro, Xhaka, Leno, Bellerin, they shouldn't be keeping us in the dark. 1 minute you're staying, 1 minute you're going, which they can't be. The club obviously know more, but to us as fans, I'm looking at it like, right, these men not holding the club to ransom, but it's almost like the club owes them something. And you lot are just reinforcing their BS by telling them internally how amazing they are. Standards are not high, man. Just joined. Big up, man, like DG, number one Arsenal channel for news, speculation, and entertainment. Big praise. I appreciate that, man. Not sure on entertainment, but I appreciate that, man. Big up the Antigans locked in. Appreciate you. I think Maddison's got the ability. I hear what Carl's saying, though, when the chips are down, that's something he's going to have to show, in it. That's something I think needs to be done for everyone, because sometimes I think even when players are not on it and they're scared, because I've seen it. We've all played football. I've even been there. I've even been kind of calm on a football game one time in Sunday League. You're not really, it's not that you're not on it, but you're there. And your guy, your brethren, your friend, he's on it, flying into tackles, G'ing up everyone. That gasses you. Even when you're losing, that gasses you. You're with it now, sort of thing. But at Arsenal, you only see the teenies and a couple of a man. Historically, Leno and Aubameyang, the last year it didn't bang. Only a couple guys. And, if only 3 or 4 of the starting 11 are on it, if only 7 max out of the 25-man squad are on it, and bearing in mind there's 38 games, even more if you're in Europe and you go further in the FA Cup and them things, it's a dangerous game. It's a dangerous game. The mentality is too volatile here. As much as I criticize Arteta and hold him accountable for what I believe he can be held accountable for, I just feel it just genuinely feels like he has to keep sitting there and going to these players. If you win this game and you would do this, you might get Champions League. This can happen. I don't know if the players are of a growth mindset and they're serious about it themselves collectively. I see it with Saka. I see it with Tierney. I actually feel Xhaka's got mentality, just not levels in that. So, you know, there is it. But there's certain people who, when the chips are down, they're sulking. They're doing the minimum. They're passing responsibility. They're asking for the ball when they can't receive it. They know, I'm pretty sure certain players know, regardless, other players are, you know, are going to get scapegoated and held more accountable and become more of the news headline and things like that. I just see too many pussies in this team, pardon my language. And I'm not asking for you to be a hard man, slapping off your chest, screaming I'm an alpha male, eating bare testosterone and injecting steroids and carrying on stupid. I just want that belief in yourself, that healthy arrogance. As I always say, confidence, consistency, and competence. Too often than not, some of these players only got one of the three. Some might have two of the three, and very few of them have all three of them. And there's only so much Arteta can do. He can plan, he can do things. Once you cross that chalk, you man need to work things out. And I blame Arteta based on the game against Chelsea. There was a lot with what I'm seeing with how Arteta set them up that looked suicidal, but the players are not arresting things on the field. Everyone that's really played football, you understand footballers have to work things out themselves, you know. You think Pep Guardiola, the players don't sit there sometimes and go, let's try this or do that. And I can comprehend and I do agree. Sometimes our players, you know, if you do set different things, you're out the team, innit? But I don't think we've got street smart individuals. And that's why we can't just keep looking at ability. The mentality has to change. And as much as I feel Arteta can and can't be blamed for several things, you know me, I like to critique and praise where I think fair. A team is a reflection of the manager. You've been here for over a year now. There's no way we can sit here and keep saying it's not your team, it's not this. You might not have brought anyone else in, but out of all the managers post Wenger, not that there's a lot to choose from, you've had the most authority. You know, Xhaka is not signing that deal if you don't sanction it. You know, certain players are not being frozen out if you don't sanction it. You've been allowed a lot, and I don't know what Arsenal's team is. So at that point, because of the propaganda and what I've been told, I have to stop looking at that and take it for what it is. Is Arsenal, when we're playing these big games, you know, like when we beat Chelsea at the Bridge and all of these sort of things, when we're winning or doing our thing in these games, when we're reactive, that's what we're doing in it, which I'm not happy with. It's a building block. You know, there are some building blocks, but it's got to improve, man. And signings is only half the job, but we do need to make them signings and immediately, or we are in trouble, man. Appreciate the super chat. What we got there, man. Very appreciative of that. You know, I can find it. I need to scroll the way up and find this thing. Man said DG Sterling coming to Arsenal would love it. Not gonna get my hopes up with anyone. JT, I appreciate the super chat, my guy. I'm very appreciative. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. Keep going, keep the grind going, man. Will do, my guy. Will do. Folks, have we got? Bro, Villa are definitely more ambitious than us, bro. Like they've held on to they've put in more of a fight to hold on to Grealish than we've done in recent years for good players, you know, and they're gonna lose their man. They've brought in Bailey, they got Smith, they tried to get Smith, but it didn't bang. They're trying to get Southampton's captain. They're showing ambition, same way Leicester is showing ambition. You know, we're just giving mouthpieces and told this, that, and the third, man. Mavropanos is not better than Ben White. You're smoking something strong. That's cap. Big cap. I'm not saying you're wrong in what you're saying there, but we need to not go to extremes and start capping. Mavropanos is not better than Ben White. Right. Come on now, man. How many games you watch Mavropanos? Because I can go back to my loan reports. Respect the opinion though, but like we overdoing it. 11 goals and 10 assists in 42 games in an injury-riddled season is quality, man. 400 likes incoming. Is it, though? Is it? Are we actually? 347. It's not quite there, man. Support the thing, people. What we doing? What are we doing? It's time to sell both Ober and Laka, then buy a new target, man. Could we really do that with a couple of weeks left? Because Lacazette hasn't got any offers, and he's gonna come with high wages. Aubameyang, does he want to forfeit those wages? I'm not too sure. And who wants them right now? And not only that, you're not gonna get a significant outlay for them, are you? How much are you gonna get for Laka and Ober? And how much is that gonna, you know, if Lukaku now goes to Chelsea, they're not selling Martinez. So 60 million euros is probably not going to be enough to buy a striker. You have two options. You try and go for a household name, which unless you're going to throw some more money on that, you're not going to be able to do. Or, you know, you find one of these strikers that are, you know, they're 30 and they're coming up, but before anybody knows them, sort of thing, which we should have been doing the minute Aubameyang signed a new deal. Cannot believe we're going into the season without having fully sorted and integrated our midfield. Where's the ambition / urgency at this club, Rochelle? When you find out, let me know. Fantastic way of putting it, though. Please, when you find out, let me know, because I don't know, man. Big up yourself, S. Hi, right back at you. P, I appreciate you for hitting the like button, man. Man said, trust the PR. Do you think we're going to smash Brentford in our first game? No, I would love to, but no. Well, let's deal with that next week, though, my guy, man. How likely do you think Maddison's signing is? Me out of 10, I give it a 3-4. But what do I know? I want to be wrong. I want him to sign, but I can't see it. Like I said, I didn't think we'd sign in Aubameyang and all of these sort of things. Please stop spamming. Let's not forget every manager plays Xhaka. Let us be positive. This is not a channel to bury your head in the sand. This is not a channel to rant. So you will never see me unless I feel it's warranted. Be ridiculously like a hippie, all happy, and just like someone who's just had way too much to drink and sniffing coke, just waffling in negativity. You know, as much as I believe in what you're saying, you know, I've said that earlier. Every manager used Xhaka, so he can't be a bad player. To play a devil's advocate, every man that's used Xhaka is, you know, their days have been numbered and they haven't managed to do the job of getting Arsenal back to where it wants to be. So the foundations aren't strong. We can be as positive or as negative as you want. Please don't spam, though. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to block you because I don't really like spamming in it. Don't spam. Don't say the same thing over and over again because you're messing it up for the individuals who are listening. So yeah, man, you're not wrong, but you know, let's stop speaking in extremes. If we don't sort our midfield out, do you think we should revert to a 3-4-3 and keep it safe? Bro, I don't even know. I'll be real. I hear it, but then you know the thing with us playing back threes, you know, is we become very defensive when it's not a balance. So you could go with that an extra man and do things, but it's gonna get clocked in it, and I don't really want to see that, man. From like Christmas onwards, we was like third in the league in points. I mean, that's great, and I hear it, but the league doesn't start in December. You know, we can go back through every season, and there's probably a positive period. You know, there was also negative periods for us. It was a good run, but consistency. You know, and the pressure weren't really on us. Yeah, we beat Chelsea, fair play. We went on a run, but that was after our season was capitulated. You know. Thoughts on Maddison's hairline. Ask your mother and tell her what she thinks, man. What are you talking about a guy's hairline for, man? It's nonsense. What do you think of Onan? I think he's good on the ball. Bit concerned about every other aspect of him, but if Leno's acting, might as well do it, innit? People subscribe to DG. We need 40k before the season starts. Hey, that's next week, man. I don't think that's gonna happen. Same way I don't think 50k before the end of the year, but we keep fighting, we keep striving, we keep hoping, man. Team lacks self-discipline more so than anything, in my opinion. Keep what we have and work with them, bro. The manager's got to do things. Do you think there's more of a chance of signing Odegaard than Maddison? Yeah, because it just seems like there's more of a willingness to sell from Real Madrid purely because they appear a bit broke, if I'm honest with you. Like, you know, Leicester, they're healthy, you know, like it just looks like Real Madrid are begging for peace. Saying that, I hear something coming. We'll speak about 4 p.m. on Twitch. You know, make sure you subscribe to me on Twitch. But you're seeing La Liga. I don't know what it is. I need to read the article to really thingy it. But there's some money coming in for La Liga clubs. You know, I even saw in some article Bundesliga make more peas than the La Liga clubs. Maybe that's why Real Madrid was so on joining the Super League. So I just think purely because of that, Maddison. I mean Odegaard and what? Odegaard's got a couple of years left on his deal. I think 2022 or 2023 or something. So they might just say if you give them a decent offer, it might just let him go. But Maddison's tied down for a decent amount of time. He's gonna cost a pretty penny, and the manager's not really, you know, he's a first team kind of player in Leicester. It's just down to Maddison, really. You know, he's been given opportunities. For Odegaard, we still don't know how much he's going to be utilized at Real Madrid. So I think in theory that is a more likely signing, but I don't actually know personally. Good question, no? Do you think for 70 million you're getting Martinez, Essential, and Odegaard, or Odegaard / Martinez for the same price you're getting Maddison? I hear you, but dream chasing. Don't know, man. It's down to Smith Rowe. I would like to see him get a handsome return in terms of goals, but in terms of 8 or 10, that should be his target. Want to see more assisting goals, really. Not that I care, but it's just you're meant to be my assist king in it, so assist in it. Odegaard might be bang average. That don't mean you can't be a good player. You know, I've seen bang average players that are Premier League legends. As long as you're competent, consistent, and confident, do your thing, man. To be fair, Xhaka's been a better player for us than El Nene, Neil. A way better player than El Nene. I hope we are going to do bits this season, man. I hope we are, man. You know, I'm not gonna look back at pre-season in 2004, my guy. The variables are completely different. Like I said, if you bury your heads in the sand, and like typical Arsenal fans, we're gonna have overly positive and overly negative. I look at what I can see, and what I can see is there are certain reasons to be positive, but what I can see is also a lot of negatives and inconsistencies. You know, so that's where I'm at. I hope we do bits. You know, I can only be as positive as what I'm showed. You're right, positive thinking, but that doesn't mean la la land. I'm not just gonna look at all the variables at Arsenal and go, well, we're gonna do good this season. We're gonna finish top four. We're gonna do everything just so I can sound good for a couple of you. I'm gonna say exactly what I feel, whether that's negative or positive, which I don't think I'm doing either. I can only comment on what I see, but you know, however people want to interpret things in their life, it is what it is. If you sign Maddison and Lauturo, can we finish top four? Then we definitely boost the chances, and it, you know. But again, for me, it goes beyond who we signed as well. It's the mentality that needs to change. If signing players was the preset to becoming better, we would have been better. How many centre backs we've been signing? How much players have we signed? You know, it's the mentality. All of members of the squad, in my humble opinion. Ooh, fucking things up. Sorry, folks. Swearing. Got a feeling we aren't going to sort right back. Would like to see Maitland-Niles given a chance. Bro, Maitland-Niles and Chambers, I'm prepared for them to do that. Cedric, if you get your chance. For me, the only one that I've really is Bellerin. I don't believe in any of them over 38 games, but I'll give them chances. I don't believe in that. Bro, it's dead, bro. It's dead because we the same way people say, oh, we only saw points off the top. We only saw points off 11th. It don't make sense. Like it's just looking for positives where they're not. And for me, that would make me be harsher because for me, I don't just when we remember Emre season, we finished a point or something off fifth or 3 points. It weren't just that. How many games did we draw that we didn't need to lose that we didn't need to? You know, people don't look at the whole picture. People like to just bury their head in the sands and do what is called a confirmation bias. In that, if someone else is, you know, saying something overly positive, let's just bury our heads in it. But we should have an open forum and say there's things that are positive, there's things that are negative. Well, if Saliba's not going to play properly here, you might as well go back on loan, Brandon, innit? Who do you think will go down this season? Oof. Big up to you, amazing. That's a difficult one. Remind me at 4 p.m. I'll save that question. Difficult one, really. I'd have to think. 100%. I want to see Willock back at Newcastle. You a Willock fan? Allegedly, they're now even prepared to pay the 22 million asking price. So we'll have to see, man. Yeah, that's it, JJ. 2 billion plus cash injection from a private equity firm. Both Real and Barca will get 250 million each. Big up DG, much respect. JJ, I appreciate the plug, man. I appreciate the support first and foremost. I appreciate you for clearly hearing that. I heard there was something, but I didn't really know where it is, and obviously providing clarity to all of us. So maybe that flip, even what I was saying with the Odegaard thing, that might even flip things on its head slightly. For me, Odegaard doesn't have enough technical ability to compensate for his lack of grit. That is harsh, bro. If the one thing Odegaard has is tech, that's harsh. I hear you, though. That's harsh, though. But you're allowed that, man. I'd rather be negative and surprised than positive and let down. I hear that, but for me, I'm literally, bro, like for me, I like to be honest with myself. Like if and I like to be honest with other people. If I'm sitting here and saying all this positive bullshit, I think I'm lying to you. Look, I don't believe half of it. I understand certain people got wages and to pay and things, and they're crippled in that regard. But you get it. I don't feel comfortable being ridiculously negative because I'm neither ridiculously negative about Arsenal, neither positive necessarily about Arsenal. I'm just looking for what we're looking at. We're eighth. Certain things are going bad. I don't believe in certain players. I see 1-2 good points, and then there's 1-2 scary moments. I can't sit here and cap to you lot. Like, if you lot want capping, head to some other guys, man. I don't know if it will be Miguel Aziz's breakout season, but I am keen to see the first 6 months at his time at Arsenal, man. What are you saying? Hi, Deluded Guna, Doncaster Rovers fan here. Great stream. Just got accepted on the spot after my job interview today. Coaster, first things first. Big up yourself for getting the role, my guy. That's the sort of thing where I always say I hope you have a good week, man. Hopefully it's a good job. You want it. I hope the pay's good. I hope the progression routes are good. Hope geographically it's good for you. Big up yourself, man. And shout out to you for being a Doncaster Rovers fan. Did we palm off Matt Smith to you? So look after him for us, man. Appreciate the super chat. Funny, what is your dream end of window lineup? I don't like to dream, but you know what? Leno stay in goal. I don't really believe necessarily in the links we have. If Leno comes and Onana, if Leno goes and Onana comes, then it is what it is. But I'm just gonna say Leno, Max Aarons, Kieran Tierney, Gabriel, Ben White, Thomas Partey, Awa, Maddison, Saka, Pepe, Aubameyang, obviously Martinelli, Smith Rowe. These sort of men are interchangeable. So yeah. Xhaka re-signing was important because he has never had a good midfield partner for a certain amount of games. The defense were a problem. Xhaka to sell for 12 million would be very stupid. Good decision. Fair enough. Fair enough. What are we saying here? I don't know how many points we'll get this season. It's not a bloody clue. Not a clue. How can you predict these things with Arsenal, to be fair to you? Not a clue. Spamming is a blocking thing, man. I don't think Xhaka's the answer either, but I don't think he's bad. Maddison just removed athlete at Leicester City on his Instagram. Go check it out. You lot check it out, man. I all these games are being played. I just want to check things out when I see man are signing, man. Man said dream will be our Arteta and the oldest leaving. Jesus. Do your thing, my guy, man. Do your thing. A job's a job, man. Whether you're working at KFC, a warehouse, handing out leaflets, or working in Canary Wolf, job's a job, bro. You're paying your bills. You're getting your money. Don't let anyone job shame or belittle you, man. Anyone that does the job shaming and belittling thing, they've never thingy, they've never worked in the real world. And I've been in situations where, bro, I would bite your hand off for a job, bro. I told you, like, bro, I've been through a lot, and you got to be humble in life, man. Anyone that job shames ain't lived in the real world, and it's a start, bro. Get your money, improve your thing, do what you're doing, man. Appreciate Kenya, Simon, love for that. What else are you lot saying, man? Dream is dead, bro. Because the keepers were being linked. I'm not gonna lie, I don't believe in them, man. And plus, you can't get on that now because it seems like he's getting Inter or something based on what I read today. Don't seem like Arsenal were ever that close on Donny, man. Never knock a man's hustle, bro. Man said, "What is your sub goal by the end of the year?" You lot know 50K, man. That's it. Jack, a good squad player, not a starter. Facts, caps. Caps is not capping. Martinelli does need more game time. We want to forget about Willian, bro. I hear that, Neil. Sorry, then. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I hear that. Big up DG. Last season against Fulham, we started with Leno, Holding, Gabriel, Tierney, Bellerin, El Nene, Xhaka, Maitland-Niles, Willian, Lacazette, Oba. There's not a big change going into Brentford. Probably not. Probably not. Oh, Xhaka's not a bad footballer. Bellerin genuinely is. And I like Bellerin. I actually like Bellerin. He's one of them guys. He might not be good, but I don't know why. I like you as a footballer. I like you. I like the way he likes to be himself. You're just genuinely not good. At least Xhaka, there's something there. Bellerin's genuinely not levels here. Genuinely. He might go somewhere else, which I hope happens. And we look at him and think, oh, why didn't we see that Bellerin? But right now, he's not 30, man. At all. Pardon me. 5K on Twitch and 50K on YouTube. Let's get it. Come on, my guy. Let's keep going, man. Hopefully you reach even more than 50K, God willing. I appreciate that, man. Slow grind is better than none. We have to go, man. We have to keep going. I can't lie. I think you'll make 50. I hope so, man. People in my personal life keep saying that as well. But for me, I look at this like a football manager, innit? If man want to get there rather than dream of it, every day man's just got to work in it. Simple as that. Like, it's simple as that. Big up DG. How do you switch off from this club? The stress is real. I don't. You lot just see the content. I'm always looking at what's going on with Arsenal. I'm always typing in Arsenal on Twitter bare times and Google bare times. Then I'm looking at the youngers. I don't switch off from Arsenal. But it is what it is, man. I don't know where Torreira's gone. Last I saw him with his training in Spain. Whether that means he's going to a club or something else, I don't know. But that's what I saw. What's the situation with Partey? Looks like he's going to be out for a few weeks and miss the start of the season. Allegedly, there's hope that he could be back for after the international break, but we hope and pray. Apparently it's better than what was expected, so that's a saving grace. But it's disappointing because we want Partey to have a really, really good season. And I feel pre-season you don't want to read too much in pre-season, but I look at him, I look at probably Eddie and Ketia, a couple of others, they look really good. I'm not saying Eddie's going to be amazing, but Thomas Partey looked like one of our players of pre-season, as did Eddie playing left wing. More focusing on Partey, he looked like he was coming into his own. It's sad because even against Chelsea, probably one of our best players on that pitch, and then he got injured, man. I'm here for the football content, but DG's life lessons always the best. I don't say no life lessons, but I appreciate that, man. Listen, it's just with life. Humble yourself, man. Like yesterday, I can't even remember it, but someone was saying, oh, you warehouse worker, this and that. Not that I have worked, but I don't work there. Humble yourself because life will humble you, You might be flying on 70K, 100K right now. Something might happen in your personal life. The people you work for might go broke, and then no disrespect, but you're on benefits. You're on £100 a week or whatever. So humble yourself because anything can happen to anyone. Humble yourself. You don't want life to humble you. I can't lie. Even though I am quite humble, life has humbled me a couple times, and I don't want it to humble me again. I cannot cap. I cannot cap. Scottish Gooner in the building. Rid of William, Hector, and Holding. Absolutely a certainty. We need Madders pronto. The powers that be might refrain from this happening. Have a nice day, bro. Lindsay, I appreciate you. And anyone who's from Kieran Teeny's land, come on. Thank you for bringing them. Jay, I didn't even see the super chat. I'm very appreciative of that £2. Wish you had something to ask, but love for that nonetheless, my guy, man. I don't know who brought up William, but I can't lie. I forgot William was here. Like, hey, bro, do you think Oba Laka are good enough to bring us back to the top 4? If not, then who are you looking for? Do you know what? I would want the Martinez and things. I think, if anything, I'm prepared to go into next season with our existing options. If I pay for it, I pay for it. But I think if you fix up that midfield, I think if you change the mentality, I do believe you can get Aubameyang back. You could see something with Lacazette that we've always seen. For me, Martinelli needs to be given more game time. I more want a midfielder. If them man are not good enough or whatever, then I want Martinez. But it's not gonna happen, is it, man? I don't know. I don't know if he's flexible, Elijah. Arteta strikes me as someone that's quite safe. But then saying that, I can't really say that because, on the eve of a Europa League final, he then started going with a false 9 and all of these sort of things. So he does have the flexibility in him, man. Two 22 Chad, buck me at 4 p.m. on Twitch with that question. We've got a save stump. Hit me up, man. Make sure you're all there, man. Sky are talking strong about Grealish to City. That's all that's been this morning. It does look like it's going to happen, man. Eddie looks like he's put on some muscle and his dribbling ability actually looked decent. Trust, let's get him in the shop window. We need a centre mid better than Xhaka to compete for the top 6. He can be squad. We need a better partner for Partey. Facts. Facts. I think everyone can agree with that. Neil, 100%. Like 100%. Hi, DG. You're watching and listening from work, buddy. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate all the 9-to-5ers and grinders that are tuning into me, you know, and everyone else, really and truly. You know, we don't job shame. We don't belittle. We don't do them things here. We're about elevation. So, yeah, big up to everyone getting their paper, man. Yeah, I did, man. Miguel Aziz is doing his madness. The best winger has now come to the Prem, Leon Bailey. You're right. You know, he's going to shell it. I hope he does. Appreciate you, Truth. Bruno Gomares would be a good look for our team. He'd slot him well in the middle of the park, but I don't know what's going to happen, really and truly, man. To be fair, they was going to bring in Bailey before Grealish, but you're right. They could have spent it knowing that they're going to get peas. Their wages are going to be paid. It's crazy, man. I want to see Balogun and Aziz go on loan to learn the dark arts and get match time. For me, Aziz, at least for the opening 6 months, he stays around the first team doing what he's doing. After that, then we might start looking in January if it alone is something that could happen. For me, if Balogun is not going to be given significant minutes, let the man go out on loan. There's only so much training and traveling you could do. I think the quicker you give him some match competence, can do his thing, man. I'd rather Ward-Prowse. It's actually mad how man will clown someone for doing honest work in a factory when they don't even have a job themselves. Because, do you know what? Yeah, because people are just so sad. People are so sad. They just want to belittle someone. That's why you've got to not let people do that to you. Like even goals, you know. For me, I'm very proud of the fact that I've got 38,000 subscribers. But let's just say some bigger YouTuber with a million or something might say that shit, that's this, that's that, and the other. He's entitled to say that. He might even be right. But to me, I don't care what he said because this is my thing, innit? So you just can't let anyone belittle you, man. And I think it's sad. It is sad. It's sad, really. You know, you can't please people because if someone went out and started selling drugs because of stuff like that, you'd have an issue. You know, no one pays your bills, so no one can have an opinion. Do what you need to do. As long as you ain't killing anyone or doing any unnecessary evilness, then, bro, there's like, bro, you're doing what you need to do. You're handling your business. So, is what it is. Can we scheme on 500 likes? We're at 451. Let's get one more question in, people, because I'm aware I'm going to be on Curtis Shaw TV at 2:30. I need to get some food, man. A man said, "Oh, you could be like me, burning 3 hours every telly work day in this stream. Do not be like me, kids." Alexander, I appreciate that, man. Do you think Willett's case will be similar to Ainsley Maitland-Niles last season? He stayed at Arsenal, although he's been offered 20 million, and now his value declined because he's not playing regularly. I'd say Joe Willett can't afford for that to happen. You know, Arteta and Arsenal are going to promise you everything under the sun, as they should and as they would, because they want to keep you and whatever. But you need to do what you think is important. And for me, I think that is if you're not going to play significantly, going out on loan again or playing because you know, you've made a name for yourself. I'm not saying the world is rating you, but you've made a way more noise at Newcastle than you ever made at Arsenal. So, yeah, man. A man said, "How's the gym going, DG? Looks like it's paying off." Come on, Caps. You know my thing. You know my thing. It's going all right. You know what I mean? Let me say what I normally say to my friends. Little here and there, little here and there. Nice, going all right, man. To be fair to you, I'm getting annoyed at myself. I'm not going as much. Like I used to go every day, nights, 2-3 times a week. Just for the mind, man. Like I need to get back in it, but it's just more on a more regular basis. But there's an issue there, man. A man said 39k is a lot, bro. If it always linked up, you would have had hybrid over capacity. That's what I'm saying. To me, it's a mazel. You know, it is what it is. DG, do you think Arteta needs to rethink the playing out from the back thing? I believe it has led us to concede less, but how are we gonna prevent the individual errors when pressed? players that don't make it. I hear you. I don't think we should stop it because we're not a physical team. As you saw on Sunday, we're going, not that Chelsea were being physical, but we're going long, we're losing it. So I wouldn't say that. And I would say, you know, unless you can change the thinking of these individuals and install some confidence or better thought processes, simply need better players. You probably need a better goalie as well, because I think Leno's distribution is shaky for what it's worth. Gunners down under, appreciate the super chat. Martinez and Maddison will happen, but we need a CDM to sit behind Partey and cover our back line. Boy, I hope Martinez does happen, man. I really hope it does happen, man. Now, man said, oh, big moves, DG. Glad some pressure has gotten Curtis and you some more content. Did you by chance snag that clip of the end of your last live stream together? You guys were cheesing so hard. I think, was it you who sent me a DM with that? But no, I didn't screenshot it or anything, man. Would I take Saint Maximin? Good player, but no. Again, another player who needs development, and we've got enough of them, really. That's it. I mean, Gerrard keeps developing. We'll have that conversation, man, in relation to maybe taking over Arteta or things if Arteta don't do his job, man. Big up from Osma, bro. You inspired me to start streaming. Sent a similar message already, but love your vibe and what you do, my guy. Come on, you Gunners, and hopefully we do well this season, bro. Appreciate that, man. I wish you said that super chat in an Aussie accent. I can't do no Aussie accent. You have to be deluded to be a gooner. At the time when I started supporting Arsenal, to be fair, you was called a glory hunter, as I keep saying. It weren't quite that. But yeah, fair enough, my guy. Fair enough. Please make sure you're subscribed on not only YouTube, but on Twitch. I'm going to be going again at 4 p.m., folks. As I keep saying and sounding like a broken record to you guys. Why is it not letting me? Okay, cool. This is my live stream. What do you mean I can't comment in the chat? What's going on? Can we hit 500 likes? 100%, man. Bro, you've got you know what? With playing out from the back, players have to trust each other. The certain players don't trust each other because they know they're not good. Certain players just haven't got the ability. Like El Nene, he's not confident doing it. Stop playing, man. There, man. Hit the like button, people. DG's back again. I've been shopping my replica AFC kits from TK Match. Lunch on me. Keep up the good work. Keep the good work going. Much love, Ray. I appreciate that. Give big up to you. You're shopping smart. Shout out to you and shout out to TK Max, man. Appreciate the super chat, my guy. We should be able to hit 500, as Sia said. Please make sure we do that. Maddison hasn't traveled to Spain for tonight's friendly game. Hope there's something behind that. Hopefully, I hope his head is turned and all of these sort of things, man. Why are Arsenal trying to bargain moves they've tried with all deals so far and still had to pay the asking price? Why aren't they learning with Maddison? I'm not going to lie, man. Very rarely are you going to see man pay the exact asking price, and I do think you should barter. But same way, there has been some occasions you're like, put the money down, man. Just give them the cash. Just give them whatever they want, sort of thing. So, yeah, man. Last question, though, before I go and get something to eat before the next couple of live streams. Do you think Torreira can be integrated in the team again as before this Unai used him in the wrong position? Yeah. You know, when it's called, you know, sorry, I'm going off top. I'm reading something else. But not Maddison, Torreira on ability, yeah. It's just for me, it's do you want to be in England, let alone at Arsenal? If he wants to be here, then yeah. It's just the fact that he's not with it. Tell Maddison to put in a transfer request. I can't lie, P. You put in a transfer request. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's like with Kane. It's like with Grealish. You lose the right of certain signing on bonuses, certain loyalty bonuses. You know, people don't see this, but when you hand in a transfer request, you know, you lose a lot contractually of money, and there's little things about that the casual fan doesn't know. So I would be wary of that. You know, but I think it could happen. You know, you lot are saying he hasn't trained, you know, Maddison hasn't traveled to Spain because Leicester are playing at home. Fair play. You know, apparently he's removed his bio and all of this sort of stuff. We'll see what happens, man. You know, we'll see what happens. EG, your thing is mad. You are a big inspiration for many of us. And I hope that one day I will have the courage to start my own channel, but it's not easy when you have a kid and wife to take care of. Bro, King, it's nothing to do with courage. Just start, man. Don't overthink it. And also, there's time in the day, man. You know, I know kids are on a non-stop job. And obviously, you got to deal with your wife. But all you got to do is, it doesn't have to be a live stream or something. Or if you've got an hour, if you only get 1 free hour in a week, that's your hour. If you only get 10 minutes to do a little vid, that's your 10 minutes. And just go with that, man. That's what I would say, man. There's always enough time. You just gotta think around it. Like even me with Twitch, like again, I was streaming via both. One spanner was put in the work that obviously for the next couple of months, man, I have to stream on either or. So I thought that's gonna obviously affect the thing. But I thought, you know what? Let's just do two then, innit? Like YouTube streaming will go again on Twitch. You know, when it feels like you got no options. One thing that helped me is when I felt like I had no options or I felt backed in the corner, I realized that the man or the woman with no options, you got bare options. So I'd say that, man. Bro, nah, if you really want it, put in a transfer request. But the caps, there's a lot of variables. You miss out on certain things in your contract and that. So there's a lot that don't meet the eye. That's why you normally see these little shenanigans people play. So yeah, man. What happened, DG? I didn't know you couldn't do both. Well, I can, but obviously right now, man, I was doing a couple official movements and that. So Twitch have required that, man, streaming official. When I'm streaming on there, it's a Twitch stream. You know, they're saying that obviously if this was on Twitch, I could do it. I could upload it onto YouTube 24 hours later, but man, I have to do to get it, and it makes sense. It's fair. So yeah, man. Truth, borrow it. I didn't make it. Like Pep says, I'm nothing but an idea thief. Loyalty bonuses get capped. You don't get ran it. You can't. Obviously, the way they've put it makes sense, in it, car. You know, they're competitors, in it. Why are they gonna let man do both? You know, but it is what it is. We're working, man. You know, so we just do two. We just run both, innit? It's simple as that. We just keep going. It's only for a sec. We just keep going. They can't stop the rise, man. They can't stop the greatness. But on that note, though, people, like I said, I keep saying I was going to get out of here. So I'm going to get out of here now, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. I'm back again at 4 p.m. Timestamps and all of these things will be integrated in that as soon as the video processes and all them things there. Yeah, man, where are we at for likes? Please tell me we bagged 500. We haven't quite got 500. We're at 498, though. We're flirting. 2 of you haven't hit that like button. Hit that like button. It's been very appreciative speaking about what GRANIT Xhaka's contract, Maddison's contract. You know, you lot would just throw in some questions and we just had some other talking points. You know, it's always like I always say, I'm very appreciative to have the supporters thing that I have here, because again, it's always, you know, people agree, disagree, different perspectives, different things. And obviously, on top of that, we've got an international thing. People are from all different continents. I'm very appreciative and it makes me happy every day to come here and do things like this, and we're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And thank you very much for hitting 500k. Man said 500k. I wish it was 500. You can clearly tell I want 500k in my bank, man. We keep going, though. We keep going, man. I'm never a king, man. I'm never a king. I'm one of the people, my guy. I'm not no king, but I appreciate that, man. A man said new to this channel, but you're very down to earth. It's refreshing. You can only be down to earth, man. Man said, Grande, hey, I would love to have her money, bro. Like, appreciate the Ugandans locked in as well. And you know the drill. Obviously, we hit 500. It's only right that I show you lot how to do this goal scoring thing, unlike Hector Bellerin.
Against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
Goal, easy goal.